Hi, everybody. This is Josh from Read Them Books. You gotta read them books to understand them books, whatever that is. So today I'm gonna have some book review. I just finished reading. Ta-da! Hunting Midnight. It's a beautiful book. Look at this design and all these Hebrew writings. This is beautiful. Beautiful book. Written by Richard Zimler. So I read this book and I found there's so much in common, in my situation and what's happened. And the story of this book and the character, what the character was going through. Um, so, Hunting Midnight is about. I don't know how to I don't want to spoil this. Where should I start? I don't want to spoil nothing. This is such a good book. I say this. I'll give I'll give 4 out of 5 star. This is really well written. Everything's the character's psyche, um, their emotions, their mood, their everything is just well written out. It's really rich, you know, in their description and their character interactions and things like that. That's a really good novel, fiction. It's a fiction, right? It's a fiction. It's a fiction. But it does feel like a fiction because it's really well, um, you know, well juiced out. It's really well juiced, you know. It's soaked into this historic chronology. Um, so where do I start? I don't want to spoil nothing. Um, you know, I don't want to spoil nothing, but I want to start that there are some things that I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand the whole thing. Of course, I understood the whole thing, but I didn't understand every single little details of the uh, back in the era. They're talking about 18th centuries. Is it 19th century? 18th centuries. They're talking about 1780 something. 1880. Um, 18. So it's 19th century. Anyways, this this story about a young boy who met this guy. Okay, this story about mostly slavery. You know, uh, this is about uh, uh, a man from Africa came to heal this boy. Well, the story goes from the boy. Story um, proceeds, develops from the boy's perspective. But anyways, but the whole storyline is about this um this man comes to this boy to heal him, to heal this boy from hallucinations and all these opioid crisis. And he was addicted to it because he had a trauma in his life and things like that with friends and things. And something happened. I'm not gonna spoil it. Some stuff happened between this boy's family and this African man. So African man in 19th century, he was sold. He was stolen and to United States. And it was based in he was based in Europe. in Portugal, in UK, where there wasn't much of slavery was going on. Of course, there were still people aren't really familiar with, you know, dark skinned people. Anyways, and he was sold at the midnight. His name is Midnight. His name is Midnight. The African man is Midnight. So he was sold to United States, and he became from free man to to became free man to slave. But it's not just about this African man. It's about this boy is half Jewish, so he struggles himself being a half Jewish. Because everybody, nobody in Portugal, in this era, nobody liked Jewish people. Everybody hated Jewish people. So, you know, he understands this struggle, and so both of them were like struggling, back in days. So, and and story just goes on, uh, from slavery and all that, and redemption, forgiveness, some of these big elements. Anyways, y'all gotta read this. This is, um, I couldn't put this book down. Well, actually, for development of the book, for like at least first 30 to 40% of the book, it was kind of, I just hold it together and just trying to get it down. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand what these guys are talking. I don't understand these the meaning of these stories, and as the story goes by, it becomes much more clearer, much more simpler, and it proceeds, develops real quick. Um, uh, and I recommend this book. For me to for a beginner. It's a good challenging. It's a good challenging book for a beginner who's start reading books, fictions, whatever. It's a good it's a good challenge because it's got some different elements, little bit sometimes real not really easy to understand these elements, the characters lies, the complications that lies between characters, and the situation and the culture. So I recommend this book if you want to have much more understanding about this era and people. It's based in that culture and era. Of course, the characters and developments they're fiction. They're not real, but it sounds just as real as the people who lived it back in the days. Um, I strongly recommend this book for people, who's into this. I don't know, if you're a black Jewish person, you might be really interested in reading this book, or at least you're a Jewish person, Jewish people, black people can't all, have a resonance about this book. And I truly believe, I'm not the one who can't really have clear understanding. Okay, I don't want to be all these you know y'all know better than I am, better than I do. But he talks about slavery. He strongly talk about this book talk about slavery strongly, and they oppose slavery strongly. And it is one of the most shameful that human ever done to fellow human. Um, so I agree 100%. You know, um, whether we slave Jewish, whether we slave black people, it's whether we slave Chinese people, you know. Um, anyways, guys, you know, we all equal, made in God's image. I'm not going all of that, but we ought to love one another, right? We ought to love one another, and we ought to have a good time with one another, fellow human being. And this book really touched my heart, and it because it resonates me a lot of different ways, not just about slavery, but other different cultural facts. I mean, cultural elements that characters going through. Anyways, guys, y'all have a good night, and I haven't decided what kind of book that I'm gonna read, but I'll get back to you with a book from thrift store. Alright, guys, peace out. Bye.